What it do? And welcome back to the Jaguar Wright Effect, Jaguar Wright Show for the weekend wrap up. You know, these just they just whip by. Like it was just a couple of days ago. We were
It was
here doing
just
another
it
weekend
was
wrap
just
up.
it was just 2024.
Yeah, that too. That too. That too. Who do we got in the building before we get started? Salute. We got our girl Myrna in the building. Okay, that's an interesting hashtag. Save
Hashtag what?
save women boxing. Well, you want to do that? Get rid of Zeus and Clarissa. What do you real rap? What do we got going on here? Okay, welcome Patricia. Let me reposition my vision.
You need your
Okay,
glasses.
listen to me. I'm a woman of a certain age. Don't hold it against me. Lynn, welcome from over there on the Jaguar Wright Show. We have Never Your Angel. Look at our people. Look at our family. Salute Auntie Leah. Alden's in the building. Hey, and like our girl Auntie Leah said, our moderator over here, smash the like button, everyone. Please do, because you know they be hating. They be hating. But we gonna rise above the hate and we gonna smash that like button. All right, who else do we got here? We have Mary A is in the house. Salute Ebony. Welcome in. We on the way. We here. We in the building, y'all. Wait a minute. Baby girl Tay says, let's get it. By the way, I liked and shared a video on your reg IG page and they kept unliking and sharing. Wow. They be doing the most. They be having a lot going on. Always hating, right, Auntie Leah? Salute. We got Chaos in the building. Myrna Sanchez is in the building. Please hit that like button. Wait a minute. Chaos says day one ride or die. Indeed. And we salute you, my dear. Golden Aries, how you guys doing over there? I see a couple of new people in the chat over there. Jaguar Wright Show. What's going on, Mint? Salute Aesel. Welcome on in. Judah, what it do?
Hmm.
We got Brandon in the building. Who else do we got over here? Our girl, Carla Turner, family. Barbara
Mm-hmm.
Martinez,
Mm-hmm.
Goddess of Mind. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
We got the usual suspects. Things is going. Wait a minute. What is Carla talking about? I was listening to replays of yours, Jag and Odell, all night. Listen to me. We were somewhat busy this week.
Kinda.
Little bit. Not too
Kinda.
much, but a little bit. And it's wild because with everything that we've already talked about, you would think that there wouldn't be anything else to talk about. And yet, there's more.
There's a whole lot more. Before we get into the topics, it's funny you mentioned time moving fast and stuff like that, or I don't know, maybe for some people time is moving slow. You get what I'm saying? I know
Mm,
sometimes these devices be moving slow, but as
hmm.
far as the way the days is going and all that, I think a lot of people need to be aware. And you know, I was talking to my guy about, you know, shout out to my boy. He does like mental health stuff for people and stuff like that, and you
Hmm.
know, he knows my track record as far as like being in the community, helping and stuff like that. It's a
Yeah.
real thing. So I know real people that help, and mindfulness, being mindful, because a lot of us are going through all types of stuff, health
Yeah.
wise, with family, with finances. Now it's a lot, and anxiety is a real thing. And being anxious, there's nothing wrong with being anxious, but don't let it overtake your actions. All it is you being kind of like in fear of maybe something happening in the future, or maybe it's something that's going on in the past that happened to you, and you
Yeah.
haven't completely healed from it. It's a reoccurring thing, etc., etc. You can't let that control you, though. Be mindful and be in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I say all that to say, just, you know, just to give people some good information. Don't let everything, you know, don't let fear cloud your judgment. I was telling you earlier, Jag, about like, you know, personal stuff with the family, and I'm like, how they, you know, and people do this. People try to tell you certain things, say what you can't do, and it's a form of control. It's a form of witchcraft, if you really want to talk about it. Um, but yeah, don't let people put that on you, and be mindful and be thankful for the time. We are in the middle of summer. It's a whole lot going on. Uh, globally, if y'all understand what's going on with CERN, they've been
Mm.
running this hydro collider for some years, and they recently just shut it off. So let me tell you something about how they what they're doing, because I think they're gaslighting the world. For example, I don't want no one to use Google. I don't want no one to use AI. I want everyone to tell me, who is this guy here. Just you can put his name in the chat. You could
I
spell
know
it.
who he is, but I'm not gonna say it.
No. I want you to tell me. You tell me what his name is.
You want me to tell you? That's Joel Osteen.
Okay, you're right. And how do you spell his last name?
Osteen. I think it is.
Is it? Okay. I think someone in the chat said something. Well, Barbara said she can't hear. I don't know what's going on. You can't hear it. Yeah, Auntie Leah has the, well, God, this is moving fast. This spelling right here, or with two e's. Oh, like you said, it's Olstein or Olstein.
I
Which
said
one?
Osteen. I believe I said.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. Before I woke up this morning, I thought his name was Olstein. Olsteen. And I know a lot of people probably will agree. They thought it was Olstein too. This is on his Wikipedia now.
I was right.
Okay, you were right. But how many of y'all remember his name being Olstein? Here
It's
we
the
are
way
with the
people say it.
Here we are with the
Somebody said
Berestein.
Oil stain. I'm
Yeah, well
done.
that's what the homie had. That was his YouTube handle, Joel Olstein. He was clowning. He was like the black Joel Olstein. He was always clowning. It was funny. But anyway, yeah, it yeah. So what's up? I remember Olstein. Auntie Leah, I'm not tripping. I am not tripping. I thought it's been Olstein this whole time. I swear to God. It used to be Olstein, yeah. So you said it's Olstein, so you just remember Olstein. I know you know, had some situations with Texas. You know about Texas. He's based out of Texas,
Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah. I used to pronounce it Osteen.
Okay,
Osteen.
so
That's what I would pronounce it.
you
But
remember it
everyone
being
in Texas would say Osteen. And it's because of the O. They oh it's that southern drawl. Osteen. But it's just yeah.
if it wasn't O with an OL,
No,
Why wouldn't you just say Austin? Because
yeah.
that's what it says. Austin, Austin.
But they say oh steam.
I
Yeah.
swear to God, this is a program that they're running. They're running game on us. This guy name was Olstein. I swear, because I did a song called Evangelical back day
I
on a
remember.
mixtape, and I opened up with his sermon, and I always thought it was creepy how he did it. This is my Bible. Like he had his people say all that, right? And
Mhm.
but overall,
This is my
I'm
Bible. I believe the promise and the truth that it
yeah,
says.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
every time.
Yeah, I see Auntie Leah. See, people are talking about this right now. Does anyone remember Joel Osteen name being spelled Joel Osteen? I'm telling you, I'm not tripping. People, I guess this is a Mandela effect. This is why I brought up CERN. This is why I brought up what I brought up. I mean, and that's why I said, am I tripping? Let's ask the chat.
Hey,
It said his book. Brandon Lee says. I mean, Brandon Lee Leron says, my mama had his book. Okay. I don't know. I thought maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I just wanted to start the conversation with that. This is nothing major. I thought maybe, I don't know.
mm-hmm.
I used to say old stain. It's like when I was little. I remember having the Berenstein Bears. Now some people are like, no, it wasn't Berenstein, it was Berenstain. And I think it was Berenstain. Like I remember it being
Steam.
Berenstain with a A, not an E. No, I remember it with an A.
What was that? We had this conversation before regarding
Uh huh.
um, something else that was big and pop. What was it that we had that conversation about? Um, and we looked it up,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was like a commercial ad or something.
Mm-hmm. What
Do
was it?
you remember? I'm trying to remember. It was oh, but we had that conversation and we went and looked it up, and it was not what I thought it was either, and it was not what you thought it was. Ooh, what is? They do
I,
this to us all the time.
I could have swear. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, but anyway, long and short of it, your point is they be playing with us online. They be playing with our minds.
I just think globally, and it's funny. I bring this up because, like I said, I was talking to my boy, and we were just talking about the hive mind of the internet and how
Yeah.
people, you know, he was asking about, like, Chat GCP. What do I think about Chat GCP? He was telling me, he used the task part of it, like, and as an agent. And I was like, no, that's smart. Ain't nothing wrong with using Chat GTP in AI, but don't let it think for you.
Do you
And
know how
the
many
internet,
people are using that for their work?
oh yeah, I was just working, and I was working on someone. They were, like I said, a county employee. They work from home, and that's all they were using was ChatGTP.
That's wild.
County employee probably went and got all kind of degrees and did this and whatever, and that's what they're using, ChatGTP. And they're laying off people, government and private sector, left and right. But people are using ChatGTP. Now, what I'm learning about ChatGTP and most AI right now, you got to buy credits, or you use credits, and that's basically your computer tokens to go to talk or to do a task, whatever task that you wanted to do, and it costs so many credits. So you're not, it's not like it's free. even though if you paid, the $20 for the chat GTP, because it costs for energy. It costs to use a server. You're using processors, you're using GPU speed, all that stuff.
Hmm. Ah, listen to me. I was looking at one of these reality dating relationship shows, and there was literally a guy who was sitting on there asking ChatGPT for relationship advice.
Oh, that's dumb.
Dead ass.
See, that's the problem. That's why.
Asking ChatGPT, um, is it important, to be the first person to forgive in an argument in your relationship? What is the value of, like, he was literally relying on everything. And I'm like, and these kids, they're in their 20s. Like, it's so funny looking at these dating shows and stuff now as a woman who's going to be 50 next year, because I'm looking at the way they're relating to one another. I'm looking at the way they're dealing with each other. It's so much different than
Definitely.
it was when we were coming up. And watching him literally, like, well, what's the therapeutic value? Da, 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 and yada 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 of asking this, or what is the psychological like, and I'm sitting there like, you're asking a machine.
That's dangerous. It's like this, Jag, even with the kids nowadays. I'm glad I came up in the time, and I should have actually expanded on it just with multiplication. I teach my, kids, and just in general, it's like, know your multiplications in your head by heart, at least up to 12. And then you go from 13 to 25. That's the next level. Um, so someone, they made a joke. They were like, they picked up someone's phone, like, uh, he left his phone unlocked. I looked at it, and he Googled, what's 3 times 5? And she ran out the door. Um,
Damn.
so it's like, if we can't even use, I mean, it's okay to use the technology, but do not allow it to replace your own mind. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
It's insane. It's insane. Most of these kids can barely read and write.
true,
They go to their device.
true.
They go to the device. Everything is about the device, the device, the device, the device. And you already know me. You know what I'm about to do. I got a
Mm-hmm.
book in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I got a book in my hand. It's a large book. A large book called the Bible.
Mm.
This second beast, and this is Revelations chapter 13, starting at verse 11. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to start at verse 14. The second beast fooled people on earth by working miracles for the first one.
Mm.
Then it talked them into making an idol in the form of the beast that did not die from being wounded by the sword. It was allowed to put breath into the idol so that it could speak. Everyone who refused to worship the idol of the beast was put, well, they were unalived.
Yeah.
All people were forced to put a mark on their right hand or forehead, whether they were powerful or weak, rich or poor, free people or slaves. They all had to have the mark, or else they could not buy or sell anything. This mark stood for the name of the beast and for the number of its name. You need wisdom to understand the number of the beast, but if you are smart enough, you can figure this out. Its number is 666, and it stands for a person. All I'm going to say is when it gets to the point where we have our Gen Zs and our Gen As speaking to a machine for love advice,
Hmm.
for life advice, for validation on whether or not they're a narcissist or a compassionate person.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And in a short while, when it becomes common or demanded to start implanting things into your body, not being able to buy anything, not being able to sell anything, what say you then? What say we then?
Nah, I'm moving my life towards just getting back to nature, getting back to the land. I'm looking at CDs right now. I got books behind me. And I'm glad you brought up the Bible because, that's a book. It's not look, I guarantee you they probably already have an AI that can explain to you every religion that has ever been made on this planet, and it's going to like maybe come up with a new religion because this AI stuff will lead to a different breed of people, and there are already people that worship artificial intelligence. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, yeah.
um and they're going to
Peter Thiel
fool.
is one of them.
Uh-huh. And they're going to try to fool the rest of the world into doing it, so they slowly give us stuff like it's like, so I don't want to get too deep, but even technology that the fallen angels had given to man,
Hmm.
um, even farming, even something as simple as farming, because I think in the Bible it really just talks about eating from the tree, and
We weren't
trees are
supposed to
just,
be doing this stuff.
yeah, because it disturbs the natural, you know, if you got raw land, if you understand how raw land works, I'm not quick to cut down any tree. Number one, I'm gonna respect that life too, and I'm gonna let it
That part.
flourish. And plus, it it does something to your soil. The selenium, like let's just say if you have apricots or peaches, selenium out of the soil is good it's good for fighting cancer, because
Hmm.
apricots, they get a lot of the selenium out the soil. They put it in their fruit, and then we had a lot less cancer back day. In LA, we used to have like loquat trees, apricots all over the place. They slowly, systematically got rid of a lot of that stuff on purpose. But back to what I was just saying about technology, just in general, we really aren't so supposed to be dealing with technology. God's like, here you go. Uh, I guess the Garden of Eden or just regular planet Earth. Here you go. This is a paradise, y'all. Here's a tree. Eat from the tree. Drink from here. We shouldn't have to um, genetically modify fruit or vegetables for anything. Like strawberries naturally aren't looking like how they normally look when they were first put on this planet. They were not even edible. Same thing with bananas. Bananas have some big seeds and they're very small flesh. But we over thousands of years we cultivated it. We use technology, genetic cloning, to make it
Hmm.
the banana that we got now. Same thing with the corn. It took thousands of years for corn to be how it is now. So I'm just saying, in my life, I'm getting back to going back to the regular. I'll grow my own food. I'll raise my own chicken. I will do what I need to do. I'm gonna try to even, especially, if we get atmospheric water generators, boom, have my own water. We got to just get back to not depending on the technology 100%. There's nothing wrong with using Chat GTP, but like I said, if you can't even just calculate in your head 3 times 3, something wrong with you. if you got to go to the computer for your love advice, you should just go read a few books. Start with like Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus or something. You know what I'm saying? Um, like it's really just about that. Just I say go back to what we've already had, books. And I'm going to stick to a book. I'm not going, they can easily change whatever that's on the internet, that's on someone else's server, because it's not your server, it's on someone else's device. They can change it, just like this Joel Olstein, you know what I'm saying? Berenstain Bears. They can change it. It's there for them to change it. But if you got a book and it's published and it's, fact checked, because that's how it was. It was always, you produce a book, you got a copy editor, you fact check it, you gotta make sure you ain't got nothing in there that's gonna get you sued. We just gotta get back to that. It's nothing wrong with using the technology to a degree though, but don't be a smart dummy. That's what it is. Don't be a smart dummy.
Are you smart though? If you're
Well,
relying on a machine, are you smart? Look at our children. Look at these kids.
while I look at
They,
what Karis once said, because he told his daughter, I'm the smartest person in his house. And she's like, really? He's like, yeah. And, this was when the internet was a new thing or whatever. I think he made a mention of like, if I don't know it, I can always reference or go to the internet or go to this, or I can read a book, or, it's like, so I am smarter than everyone if I know where to reference. And that is true. But if you're completely dependent on said technology to call yourself smart or wise, no, you're not smart. You're a dummy. You're a
well,
smart
you're
dummy.
you're highly influenced. You're highly influenced by an inanimate object. Let's just be real. There's going to come a day where someone's going to go on a mass mainframe and they're going to type in some really, really, really dangerous lies.
Hmm.
People are going to believe them. And it's going to create chaos in the world. But then again, I mean, we could say that with books.
Well,
There's plenty of lies that have been put in books
there's
that we
plenty of
believe.
lies. There's plenty of lies, but there's also
Look at our
books,
so called
plenty of.
history books. Look at our American history books. American history books, fact or fiction? I want to ask everybody in the chat, fact or fiction? American history books.
You didn't really go through the uh, general public school like I went through, and I know you were, private for the most part, but in the public school, I could remember even being like kindergarten or third grade, something like that. And I always had a quest for knowledge. I want to know history. And
Hmm.
the history that I knew of the Americas and the beginning of the country, of course, was all bullshit that they told me like in the first grade, second grade, third grade. And then as you start to get older, you're like, okay, they already gave you like a base foundation, which it was already, you already based it on bullshit. And I go from the third grade to the sixth grade trying to learn more. And they just added on more bullshit. And then like from the sixth to the ninth grade, junior high, boom, more bullshit. I started waking up after like the 11th grade. It took that long. And, I started reading books like People's History of the United States. That's why I even created Set in the West, because of, the People History of the United States by Howard Zinn, which was a good book. And it was talking about the
Hmm.
real history of the real people, not what the group of lies agreed upon, like Napoleon said. It was the accounts of real people in the United States. And I said, oh shit, they've been lying to me this whole goddamn time.
Yeah, the entire time.
Yeah.
The beginning of this country, even the way they teach the kids about the way America was colonized, like they try to make it sound so friendly.
Yeah. Like, if you let them tell it, white man came over on a boat. He was hungry. The Indians gave him food. The black man swam from Africa and said, "We're gonna help you make this money, boss." And
For free.
yeah, and you know, and then boom, 1950, like yeah.
Like that's what we do here in this country. We teach lies and then we build laws to enforce those lies. We govern in accordance to those lies. You know, 100 years, in 100-year time lapse, you can fool the future into believing almost anything that you want if you're in control of the power structure. Look at Rock Nation. What happens if the Jigga Man actually goes into politics and becomes a senator? What will the story of his rise to power? How will that story go? Beyonce's story. What will be mentioned? What won't be mentioned? Like, no disrespect to the administration, but even the way they're trying to rewrite Trump family history
Mm-hmm.
is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at the Obama family history, it was heavily attacked and heavily defended, but very few actual receipts were ever truly shown. It was more based around the conversation of it all, or the reluctant nature for them to just provide things. Like even now with this whole situation with honey, they don't even acknowledge the fact that redlining was really a thing here in the United States. Even when it comes down to the whole situation with Brigitte Macron, the simple fact that they've gone back and forth, man, woman, man, woman, man, woman, man, woman. What is she? What is she? What is she? What is she? And the fact that that still hasn't even been resolved. Like world history. What is world history? How much of it is accurate and how much of it is, as you all often, quote Napoleon is saying, a group of lies agreed upon. It literally says in the Bible that, no disrespect, but the Yamaka people literally went and paid and persecuted people to alter the story of the crucifixion and the resurrection of Yeshua. Meanwhile, if you talk about it openly, it's considered anti Semitism,
Right.
but it's in the Bible. You have so called Christian organizations accepting money from the very entity that issued out lies about their so called Lord and Savior and defending them. Interesting. Like, I guess that's an interesting place to segue into our first topic.
Where we
Let's
going?
get into it. You pick.
Well, no, you set it up a certain way because we have. Well, I got three ready for you. And you see them down there. So
Well, we're talking about lies and cover-ups. So why don't we have a conversation about Kathy Rumler to start? Now, for those of you who do not know who Catherine Rumler is, Catherine Rumler is a very prominent attorney here in the United States. Matter of fact, her career has been so prestigious that she actually worked in the White House as lead White House counsel for Barack Hussein Obama, the Obama administration years. After she left her job in Washington, she went and she got a very, very, very cushy job in the private sector in New York City for a big old law firm. Um, was Goldman and Sachs, right?
Former Goldman Sachs exec. Yeah.
Yeah. Where she was kind of like the supervisor for another so-called hotshot attorney in this current day and age who goes by the name Alex Spiro,
Hmm.
who's now at Quinn Emanuel.
Yeah.
And she is the one that put him in a league with Jeffrey Epstein. Now it's interesting because they're trying to change that story. Have you seen recently? They're trying to
No.
say that they never worked together. Alex Spiro never worked with Jeffrey.
Oh,
He,
really?
yeah. He wasn't the attorney, even
Uh,
though Kathy Rumler has already. I don't know. Maybe that's one of the lies, but they're already trying to rewrite that history. Kathy Rumler had a very, very, very close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. He fancied her very much.
yeah. She called him uncle.
Uncle
Um,
Jeffrey. He
according
used
to
to send
political.
her gifts and
Yeah.
pop pocketbooks, expensive purses, and fabulous couture. Please go ahead.
Yeah. According to Politico, they're saying that Democrats accused Kathleen Rumler of lying about her ties to Jeffrey Epstein. This is the former
Mm,
Goldman Sachs exec. Um, she was sitting with the White House Oversight Committee or the House Oversight Committee
yeah.
and the Government Reform Committee. They had harsh criticism for Kathleen Rumler, the former top counsel for Goldman Sachs. She testified Wednesday as a part of a panel ongoing investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Speaking of reporters during the break proceedings, Democratic members of the committee questioned Rumler's credibility and the nature of her ties to JE. Her response Her responses have been shameful. This is what Representative Garcia of California said. We can all read the emails in the files about her making jokes about massages, about her making jokes about Russian women, about her making
Mhm.
jokes about Epstein's girls. For her to deny that there was any type of real relationship there, I don't buy it. That's what he said.
These people are going and sitting in front of these committees and playing in their faces. Hillary Clinton. Oh, I had no idea. I really didn't know him like that. I really didn't this. I really didn't that. Yet your daughter lives in a condo that was purchased by him in a
Hmm.
you got they don't even talk about Bill Gates testimony. The only thing that they really reported is that he said he was very ashamed for knowing him, even though his interaction with him was limited. Okay.
Yeah.
And now she's trying to play it off because don't okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Committee members pressed Rumler inside the closed door meeting on the content of her emails, and they were all released by the Justice Department. This was some time back, maybe a month ago, involving the Epstein case. So, she received gifts from Epstein, like you mentioned, and advice that she, exchanged with him. Um, the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, the chairman, James
Mhm.
Coleman, said that Rumler was one that the one that was with Epstein until the very end,
Yeah.
and she worked to rehabilitate his image.
Just like the girls down in the Virgin Islands. Ms. Oh, what's her name? Dijon.
Hmm.
Cecile Dijon.
Hmm.
And what's her name that's running now for lieutenant governor? Oh, why is her name escaping me? There's so many names that are attached to this man. It's
Well, here's a name.
mm,
There's a few names because you mentioned Bill Gates with Kathleen Rumler.
mm-hmm.
They said in this article, it said that she was the latest former Democratic official and Wall Street operative to appear before the oversight panel, which has also brought in former President Bill Clinton and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Microsoft founder Bill Gates. Rumler served as counsel for the Obama administration before leaving for the private sector, where she connected with Epstein while at the law firm Latham and Watkins. Rumler told Oversight Committee that Epstein was a masterful liar and that he used her and others to legitimize himself, and that it was a mistake to deal with him, according to a copy of her own uh, statement. And that sounds like the same script that Bill Gates said, because he said the same thing,
The exact same thing.
exact same thing. Now, according to LA Magazine, Catherine Rumor avoids questions about 9/11 in the Epstein testimony as well. They said former White House counsel who stepped down from her 25 million yearly post at Goldman Sachs was named by Epstein in emails with the Saudi royal family months before Jeffrey Epstein's final arrest on federal T charges in July of 2019. An email was sent about wine and roses the billionaire wanted to send to former Obama White House attorney Catherine Rumor, who the billionaire called Kathy.
Hmm.
Uh, ugh. It's yeah. There's a whole lot when it comes to the Epstein files and pre 9/11. They purposefully blocked out a lot of that
A
in the file.
whole lot of that. Because I think they're afraid of what people will discover
Yeah,
about what happened around 9/11.
yeah. It'll
That
it'll it'll start
definitely changed the course of history.
it'll start making too much sense.
And the name that I was thinking of, guys, was Stacy Plaskett,
Mm,
our girl who was actually in Washington, D.C., being questioned and was literally sitting there texting with Jeffrey,
yeah.
who worked along with Cecile Dijon, former First Lady of United States Virgin Islands, who also worked on rehabbing his reputation. The,
Mm. Back to Rumler, her answers were viewed as dishonest by a lot of the lawmakers on both aisles this week on Wednesday, after she was the latest high-profile person to appear in front of the House Oversight Committee probing Epstein's relations. Rumler testified that she met Epstein in 2014, shortly after she left her post as President Obama's top legal advisor. Justice Department files, document dumped, shows her name appearing in the Epstein files thousands of times. One day, Epstein's day planner was filled with meetings with Rumler, billionaire Leon Black, and former Israeli Prime Minister Barak, who are all now targets in a House probe into the billionaire's business dealings.
mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna stop there because I think our people who know we have a call. I'm gonna play this call that Epstein had with the former
Yeah,
prime minister. Let me run that real quick.
let's get
He
into
thought there was
that.
two cyber companies. Look out, and even though I know Peter, I've never met Peter Thiel, and everybody says he sort of jumps around and acts
He
sort of
looks
strange, like he's on drugs.
smoking, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks under drugs.
However, he has a company called Palantir, Pallen Tier. Palantir is Peter Thiel's company, and look out.
Palantir, Palantier.
Yes,
How you write Thiel? Thiellly.
Thiel.
Lly.
No, Thiell.
Okay.
So he thought that Peter would put you on the board of Palantir. Peter Thiel is one of the best. I've never met him. He's going to come here next week. So I wanted to talk to him after I talked to you.
Okay.
He and Andreessen, it's called Andreessen Horowitz. Andreessen Horowitz, they pay Larry $1 million a year just to advise them.
Andreas and
Andreessen, Andreessen, and Horowitz.
Howard.
Horo, Horowitz.
What they are? It's a lobbyist. What they are doing?
They are the biggest venture capital people in Silicon Valley.
What, bigger than Sequoia or Kleiner
These
Perkins?
are the new Kleiner Perkins. Everybody, these are the smart boys. So those two companies right away, in terms of, I said that we need now in the next 3 weeks if you're going to leave.
So this was Jeffrey Epstein advising former Israeli Prime Minister Barak to explore a relationship with Peter Thiel and his company Palantir. So, he reportedly told Barak to look at Palantir and said he expected to meet him soon. So y'all heard that. This just goes to kind of let y'all understand the way these games are being played. Rumler's connection to Epstein. Epstein had connections to many world leaders, many billionaires. Peter Thiel, he has his home. If you haven't heard, he has his own private little text messaging group or Telegram group or whatever called the Dialogue, I believe, where it's billionaires, tech people, and influencers, and celebrities and stuff like that, like people that can make some things happen. If you understand what I'm saying. So them going to have her up there, and I guess she just blatantly just pretty much
Lied.
I mean, she had received handbags, luxury vacations, private jet flights, salon visits, haircuts from Epstein.
Everything.
Epstein, she called him sweetie, Uncle Jeffrey.
Uncle Jeffrey.
On Wednesday, she continued to downplay her relationship to the apparent sugar daddy during her testimony, which it wasn't taken under oath. And again, y'all know she called him a masterful liar. She also said, I think it's difficult to see how Robert Garcia, I'm sorry, the House Oversight Committee member, he said, I think it's difficult to see how she's being completely truthful in there with the answers, and that she's what she's given to the committee. So, look,
They have really nice ways of not calling bullshit. Like
much.
The way they refuse to just flat out say, you're a lying ass bitch and we know it. We got the paper here. You swore on the oath you would come here and tell the truth. You a lying ass bitch. Take her ass to jail. She's committing perjury.
They're saying it remains unclear if she was asked about her ties to Epstein and his efforts to block the Justice Against Sponsors of Foreign Terrorism Act on behalf of the Saudi royal family. The Saudi. There's a bunch of families who are in a civil suit against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and they have
Mm-hmm.
raised questions about whether rumors influence
Hmm.
her boss to veto the Justice Against Sponsors of Foreign Terrorism Act on behalf of Epstein. So
Interesting.
that's all I really got to say about that.
And
That's
he's dead. So they say.
and yeah.
And they all still working. Like, is nobody paying attention to the fact that they're all still working?
Hmm.
They're all still working for his best interest as if he were alive. His networks are still operating. And for those of you who have been a part of our Patreon group and now um, subscribed over on Kick, you already know we've had these conversations. We have these conversations. But I find it interesting that on the day Kathy Rumler is being questioned and then questioned for her questioning and her lack of realistic, reasonable answer. All of this happened very quietly. It went very subtly under the radar without anybody even knowing that it was happening. This should have been top flight news this week.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, we've been busy, no disrespect, talking about the disappearance, the demise, and playing the whodunit of Nolan Wells. Matter of fact, while she was in the middle of being under heavy questioning, under fire, we were all being, I don't know, I guess, what's the word? Inundated with the update conference
Mm-hmm.
with no update, just the reporting of a, yeah, so what? I reposted a picture. I just reposted the picture because somebody else posted it and I wanted to know if somebody was going to say, we didn't say nothing. And yes, please protest quietly. And if you don't have any money, please, we're not begging for you to donate to our GoFundMe that has almost $1 million. And yes, we're having a party. Tyler Perry is throwing our son a party at the fairgrounds. And everyone who knew him and played with him and lost him is welcome. And yes, the press will be there. Like that's what that's what we were that's what we that was it while this is going on. And then they quietly snuck that news out after she had testified and said, yeah, don't know if we believe her.
Hmm. We don't believe you. You need more people.
They got all the people. How many more people do they need? They got all the people.
No, if they pull the string on this,
Oh God.
it's gonna get nasty. Someone did say if they really did go after all the people, like the government would collapse, and they're not lying
That's what
because
Pam Bondi said when they
yeah,
questioned her. She said if we arrested everybody that's connected, the entire government will collapse. So then why haven't we just said
fuck it,
fuck it?
yeah.
Why are we still letting it operate?
See what it is? It's the people. They've gotten us so
Complacent.
and tired. A lot of people are working two jobs. A lot of people like they got us, the American people, in a hella trick bag right now. Um, yeah.
That's the point. That's the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You're too
Yep.
tired to fight for justice. You're too fired to fight for a better tomorrow. Too tired. You're
You're muted. It just muted you. I Okay, so it just disconnected her. Wow. Okay. See, they over here playing with our connection. She'll be back. Okay. Mic check, mic check. Go ahead. I hear you. I can't hear you. Go ahead. All right, y'all. Whatever's going on in this backdrop, you know how they do. They love messing with our stuff. Y'all hear me though, right? Okay. Just give us a second. Yeah, exactly. Well, we was getting ready to change the subject anyway. It really didn't matter. Um, because yeah, obviously that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Speaking on pertinent topics, speaking on things that, I mean, in all actuality, it makes sense because look, when it all goes down, it's just going to be that right information uh, given to the right people. Okay, I'm assuming you on your phone now. Don't hear you. I hear your background.
hello.
Yep.
Okay. I was trying to see if I could get a test on it because for whatever reason, my mic. So I'll be right back.
All right.
Sorry about this. It's just I don't know what's going on, but
The computer is out. What happened?
my mic, it's not connecting, but I have to check something. I'll be right back.
All right. All right. Well, I guess we'll wait. I guess in the meantime, let me see something. Um, I have something for y'all. If you guys are really interested in, fuck it. Let me just put it out there. Since these people want to play, I'm gonna put this website in the comments, right? Okay. If I were y'all, just get ready. I'm gonna tell y'all to bookmark this site. Just be mindful and be careful. It's pretty much a site where if you're looking for, how could I classify this? It has a lot of information on like search engines, people searches, username searches, geology searches, stuff like that. Darknet searches, phone searches, image searches, data dumps. It's an interesting site. License plate, vehicle recognizer. Like it's you just gotta y'all gotta check this out. Hold on, let me see. Let me add you back. I'm assuming you can't. Okay, I take it your computer is down or something. What's going on?
Mic check 1 2 1 2 1
Okay,
2. How
that's
do I
better.
sound?
That sounds better. That sounds
Okay.
better. Now
All righty.
we was I was literally just about to just go on a field trip. Let
Oh,
me share
really?
this.
Let's do
Well,
that.
we could still do it real quick. Not like field trip like that. And I'm seeing what's going on with this site. What is I mean with this chat. But
Looks like something is just getting hot.
okay,
That might be an issue. Not quite sure, but
on the computer, right?
yeah, well, I switched that up, but we can talk about it later. Everything
All
seems
right.
to be
Well, we're gonna get new computers and all that good stuff. I got a whole whatever. Um, don't even trip. But yeah, the site. Just be careful. This is like some high end. Like this reminds me of when I used to be online as a kid. So I've had
Mhm.
homies who were like dealing with like file sharing before LimeWire was a real thing,
Right.
and I was pretty much just stuck on AOL. I did everything AOL. I was like first got introduced to the internet, fixed my mom's computer, got her, she had AOL, you know, and was just mainly dealing with AOL. I didn't step outside of the AOL construct. I didn't go to the World Wide Web like that. I was doing everything AOL, AOL, AOL. And I just put this site up, and this is for people that are, since we're talking about like technology and we're talking about
Mhm.
certain stuff, um, this is a tool, I would just say, as far as um, if you're, because I've been in the business of documentation,
Right.
researcher, stuff like that. This site that I just gave y'all, it has so many tools and so much that you could do. Like if you want to look up certain people's YouTube and what they pretty much do on their YouTube and their it has like comment finders, find someone's YouTube channel ID. There's a lot of information that you can get from this site. It even has police cop database lookup.
Hmm.
Like it's so much. Look, like I don't share this. I just said let me just give it out because I don't really care. But there's so much. They have the George Floyd protests, police brutality videos. They have police protest videos, stuff like that. This site is like, and y'all lucky because if y'all rock with us, y'all cool. Y'all, you know, it's really just a good tool. I'll just say it like that. And I have other sites as well, but I don't really, but this is just a good site. I was really going to just go on here and find a live cam because they have global live cams of like if I wanted to go to Venice Beach right now and see because
Right.
they have a camera on Venice Beach. They
Barbara has
have
an important question to ask before you get too far. She
sure.
wants to know if this is a safe website.
Well, this is what I was trying to let y'all know. Don't open it. It's safe, but it's certain sites, certain links on there are not. I'll just say it like that. That site is safe, but don't go on that with your like do like in y'all if you know like if you know how to either tap in with a I guess the incognito mode or um a different computer that you have that's not yeah exactly chaos nothing is technically safe, let's just keep it but you could I'm giving you this site because it's like there's so much stuff going on um in the world and you may need it. Like you may stumble upon something where like I'm looking for this or someone um just trust me, this site is safe, but when you go into other parts of this site you just got to be careful. Have your what's the word I'm looking for, just be protected. That's like I wouldn't tell you to date, go into the dating world and just hit everything raw. I mean, shit.
Lord have
I you
mercy.
know, they have a clubhouse database and they have a clubhouse search and they have the rooms in the clubhouse. Like this yeah, this whole little thing is no joke.
See, that's why I'm glad that I never got turned out on technology, that I never tried to know all of this stuff. I think the one thing that I appreciate is that I used it for what I needed to use it for, and I never reached beyond that. You know
Mhm,
what I mean?
mhm.
Because goofy like me, I'd have been in all kinds of stuff. I'd have been I'd have probably been just ran off the internet from every Trojan horse you could possibly think of all through my stuff.
Oh no, and I've been hacked. Like, it's not like, I mean, don't get it twisted. That's why I learned so much. I don't really have too much of my information online like that, and that's a whole nother conversation when we talk about certain people, hacking people or doing stuff
There's a
like
lot of
that.
that going on right
There's a
now.
lot,
A
exactly,
lot
and
of infiltration, and people are stealing people's online identities and using them to commit crimes so that they'll link back to someone else, not back to
mm-hmm,
them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah. So again, nothing is safe, but here's a tool, and like I said, I'm just giving it up because I think certain people, maybe you're going through something, or maybe this might be able, you might find it useful. I'll just say it like that. Um, but while we were having the technical difficulties, they have whatsupcams.com, and they
Hmm.
have different, like just different cams that are just going on, like webcams that are, to the public. Like you could be walking out in the street, especially like, Hollywood Boulevard or Venice or the airport.
Hmm.
Let me pull up the airport real quick. In fact, I was there yesterday when I tried to do the live, and uh this just comes up. Hold on, give me 1 second. It says watch on YouTube. Is it live on YouTube? What part of the game?
Hmm.
Um, is it live?
I don't think people realize exactly how much watching is happening online all the time. Like there's
Yeah, yeah.
constant surveillance, whether or not people realize it or not.
Okay, so this isn't live, but here's just an example. I'll share this real quick. But they do have live cams, and yeah, you really don't know where you're at. Like if you don't know, to be honest. So this is LAX. I guess a few hours ago. Um, this might be useful for our investigators who, let's just say, the next quote unquote disaster strikes or whatever, and y'all want to see eyes on it right away. Like let's just say, like the same that the incident that happened in New York in 2001. There are a lot of different accounts of like what when people were there, what they really saw. We didn't have cameras like that back day, so
Mhm.
you know this might be something that that might be useful. That's all. So
Which
anyway,
is kind of interesting, and it can kind of like low key lead us into the next conversation regarding the statement that the governor of Mississippi has now made about the Nolan Wells case.
okay,
Um, for those of you who don't know, the governor of Mississippi has come forward and broken his silence and wanted to let the press know and the world know that he has absolute faith in the sheriff and the department that is running the investigation for Nolan, that they will do their diligence and that there is no need to suspect foul play.
no need. Okay, but then there was the
Even though he's
thing.
not all the way up to speed on all of the details, he can assure everyone that we should not be concerned about foul play.
And how confident is he with that? Because in all honesty, I'm hearing there's some discrepancies about the boat ride.
Well, let's talk
Um,
about it.
okay,
Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
okay, hold on. Let me
Because
see
this
what I wrote
is
down.
ridiculous. They are, and I'm blaming it on all sides. I'm blaming it on the side that is driving this like like a like a 64 GTO on the highway to hell, all the way through the media and pounding us with it. Like the more they talk, all it does is just raise more questions.
Hmm.
And the other side is equally as responsible because of all of the tactics and all of the little games that they played. You know, someone jumped into the comments and they said, people said that Nolan was walking on the beach with the young lady, the currents, the tides. He could have been drunk. He could have tried to go for a swim and got overtaken by the water. A lot of
Coulda,
things could have happened.
coulda.
And there's a lot of couldas. And they said, and meanwhile, now, all of his friends who have been implicated in one shape, form, or another, they're all receiving unalivement threats now. All of these things are going on. And they're like, all of this could have been avoided. And why do people need to make this, make that? And my response was really simple. All of these things that people are saying that, could be a easy answer for this or an easy answer for that could have been a lot easier to accept if the friends had have been more forthcoming, if social media hadn't have been turned off immediately, if they hadn't have held on to his belongings and just gave it up right away, if they didn't have to be tracked down in order to find his belongings, if they had have done a more thorough investigation starting at day one, if those boys had have been properly interrogated from day one. Their phone, you're sitting there worrying about confiscating Nolan's phone, but you weren't busy trying to confiscate everyone's phone that was there. I'm like, if all of these things hadn't have happened, if everything had have been handled with better due diligence, people wouldn't have the questions that they have now. That's the reason why people have the questions that they have, because of the lack of inactivity
Hmm.
regarding what happened around him.
Can I
That's why.
can I say this?
Yes,
As far
please.
as the latest developments, this is what I was referring to, the GPS data from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. It
Yeah.
said that the boat left the mainland around close to 10 a.m. and it arrived at Horn Island around 11:14 a.m. and departed the island at 4:31 p.m. without Nolan. It returned towards the mainland, entered Fort Bayou around 5:52 p.m. and was back at dock by 6:06 p.m. Um, there was some reported drinking, and they were all 18, so they were not allowed. You're allowed to drink at 21 still. That's a whole nother conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
there's dispatch audio, which we'll get, reportedly captures the operator requesting emergency assistance because the boat pulp there was a pump that failed and the vessel was taking water. While the dispatch asked whether everyone then on board was accounted for and healthy, the caller reportedly said yes. I heard the audio. He said yes. So that answer only confirms the people physically aboard were accounted for. It doesn't establish whether Nolan was supposed to be with them or why he was absent. So now the FBI is assisting the examination of the digital evidence. The sheriff said that the cooperation is partly because Horn Island is federal land, while the FBI has also confirmed it's addressing the interstate threats received by people connected to the case. Um, and after the meeting with the Jackson County District Attorney, Ben Crump said the sheriff investigation must finish first. The DA then expects to present matters to a grand jury, which is described as standard practice for suspicious or unnatural unalivements in the county.
Mm-hmm.
Crump and the local investigators will jointly inspect Nolan's phone. Both
Mm.
Mississippi autopsy and the family independent autopsy findings remain pending publicity. There's no public announced arrest, no suspects, no ruling of unalivement or official cause of the unalivement. The sheriff continues to say the investigation is active.
So when I said the first time that there are no official reportings from the medical examiners findings, there's none. Not from Mississippi, not from Washington D.C. for the independent. I was correct about that.
Yeah.
Yet people came online and said, because you remember we were having that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and I said there are no, and you said no. Mississippi came forward, so someone pushed that out into the media.
Yeah. On purpose. They're trying to
They're literally trying to. I just wanted to, and not that I'm trying to say that you were wrong. I'm saying that in the research that I did, no, nothing. Because first things first, no toxicology report or ME's report for a body come back that fast.
no.
So why are people running around talking about he had water in his lungs? People saying that he didn't have water in his lungs. People are saying that he had been burned, that he had been,
Bruise.
roughed up, that he had defensive. Like, why are people? What the hell is going on? And Mayat, I wanted to address this. You said this mirrors the Carmelo Anthony stuff, and to a certain extent, except for the fact that Nolan is deceased and Carmelo is alive. And we need to discuss that as well. We need to have that conversation as well. Because right now, Carmelo Anthony's, visibility in media has dropped significantly. And all of the attention that was being given to him and to his case and to what's going on there has now all been diverted over to the Nolan Wells
Mm-hmm.
case. We have a ton of confusion. And this is getting more and more political by the day. And like I said from the very beginning, all of this push that they're bringing to this, Mississippi is going to have an answer. Mississippi is going to have an answer. And now the governor has spoken. They're not telling us something. There's something that they're being dishonest about. People are saying that the mother and that the family identified him. That's a very, very, very interesting statement, because people are also saying that they haven't seen him. But the question is how did they identify him?
Hmm.
Who made that ID? Because you have to ID him. You have to. Why are they playing these games with this kid's demise? I got a bad feeling about this one. I do. I got a bad feeling about it. I got a bad feeling about it. I feel like they're using this kid, and I don't understand. Like, I'm looking at the comments, I'm looking at the division, I'm looking at everything that's going on. People are, ultimately talking about race, but there are no answers. So why aren't we tabling this conversation publicly until there are some real concrete findings that can be discussed? Or is it just me?
No.
Why are we talking about this? Why has all of the details surrounding everything that's happening around this constantly being thrown in our face, and yet no details at the same time? You got Ben Crump there reposting pictures from parties that happened long before. Like, in my opinion, I don't understand why more people aren't upset with what he did, because that was inflammatory. That was highly inflammatory. They shouldn't be reposting pictures that they found from social media.
Yeah.
Adding to, oh my goodness, and the way that they're making AI videos of Christine, and they're doing, why are they making AI videos of her? Like, why is this family, they've pretty much turned them into celebrities overnight, and we still don't know what's going on. All we know is that we got a bunch of drunk kids who are behaving badly without any supervision. Like, when you think about it, Horn Island, there's no surveillance out there. There's no cameras out there. Just the devices that came with the children,
Mm-hmm.
with the people that were there on the island. So that's all the more reason why those boys' phones should have been confiscated right away.
Right away.
Right away. And it's taken almost 2 weeks for everyone to agree that all of the phones are now going to be looked at. If you ask me, this needs less media attention. Less media attention. And more actual work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rather than Ben Crump and them sitting on television and dragging. How many press conferences have these people done in less than 2 weeks?
2, 3.
No, it's been more than that. When they came to New York on that Friday, well, they've done 3 official press conferences, but I'm talking about interviews. They've done at least 20. They did at least 20 to 25 between legacy media and social media. Like, you've been in media for quite some time. You worked at the radio station. You know how this works. Is that not excessive? Not even Carmelo Anthony's family did this much press. And that was stretched out over the course of a year. They got all of this done in a week. Or am I tripping?
No.
There's no physical evidence. It's just a bunch of questions. Now the question is, what if it turns out there was no foul play? What does that do? Let's just play devil's advocate. Let's just say that his cause of demise was accidental and those boys were just afraid that they were going to be blamed because they had an argument. And that the stepmom judge said, with the the climate of the world right now, it's best that everyone be quiet because they're going to blame you anyway because you're all white. Like, what if let's just say that happened.
Hmm.
How does that turn? How does that turn things? Does that create greater racial disharmony because is the white side going to say, look at you black people, you're always trying to do this and you did that? Like, what happens then? Like, I don't know. I got a bad feeling about this. And they're just playing. They're playing. I don't think that they need cameras at that boy's repast party.
Someone said, well, and they left this in your comments. They said maybe they are doing this to lure the potential suspects there.
I mean, for what? For what do they need to lure them to a party? What they gonna do? They gonna come to the party and they gonna lure them there, and then everyone's just gonna start confessing? Like, what do they got to worry about? They've had what, almost 2 weeks to get rid of, dump, scrub, erase, whatever. Like, they're gonna lure them there. Lure them there to do what? What, they think people are just gonna break down in tears, cry, I did it? Like, what's gonna happen? They already know who those boys are, and the truth is, those boys ain't going.
Mm-mm.
They're not going. They're already under too much scrutiny. So, like, what kind of Perry Mason games are people playing? I got a bad feeling. I got a bad feeling about this. What I do know is that in the midst of all of this going on, there have been a lot of really important things happening in the backdrop. Like, number one, the Kathleen Rumler situation. We actually have some other stuff to discuss too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, let's get to it if you want to.
I got a bad feeling. I just want to back away from that for now.
Oh, no. Look. What we're going to do. See, I told everyone we're not about trying to be first to report anything. I'd rather be accurate than to be first.
And there's been a lot of people that have been inaccurate. The question is that hastiness or is it helpfulness? Are they trying to help the deception, or are they just being too hasty to get to the truth? Yeah, baby girl, tell you that Clive Davis algorithm came and went. They made sure people stopped talking about him real fast.
Yeah, because he was a piece of shit. And if we really want to, they don't expect. See, that's the problem. Back to where even us, the generation, the zillennials, or the people
Hmm.
that between X and the millennial ages, we remember a lot of shit. So that we're a problem. We can be a problem because somebody can come out and say, "Oh, this is like." No, no, your album wasn't great at the time. You're lying, or
Yeah.
this person was a piece of shit. But anyway,
Or she couldn't sing back then and she still can't. Ain't nothing new.
nothing new. Why?
Hmm.
Why? Jeez Christ. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to. I don't know why it's not doing what I'm telling it to do. This thing is special. Okay.
Speaking of
Now
being
this
drunk,
thing, yeah, this thing just wants to act up. What'd you say?
I said, speaking of being drunk,
Yeah, here we are. For those who don't know, this is the CEO of Uncle Nearest.
yes,
Has anyone heard of Uncle Nearest? Uncle Nearest is the company that, well, was black owned, and Uncle Nearest is supposedly the person who taught Jack Daniels how to make
the
whiskey.
recipe.
Yeah, yeah,
And then Jack Daniels, very Caucasian Jack Daniels, blew up, and Uncle Nearest just became,
yeah,
yeah, the ones who, yeah, they jacked them. Yeah,
yeah. Pretty
Jack
much,
Daniels jacked them,
they got jacked,
just like
and
everything else.
well, yeah. So this person here is a Fawn Weaver.
Hmm.
She has a bottle of Uncle Nearest premium whiskey. She's now facing legal scrutiny as federal agents examine possible wrongdoings connecting to the company's finances. So, for those who don't know, Fawn Weaver and her husband and former CEO Keith Weaver, they no
Hmm.
longer work for the company. A
Nope.
report a report submitted by the court-appointed receiver shows that the records were turned over to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commissions and the federal prosecutors in New York. The filings indicate the agencies are pursuing separate inquiries, but it doesn't explain what conduct they're reviewing. And this is what the New York Times is reporting. Again, the Weavers are no longer with the company. They remain employed after losing control of the daily operations when the court installed a receiver last August. And yeah, Uncle Nearest CEO and husband, they got fired. I do have
And
some
by the
audio,
way,
but
they have connection to the Jigga Man because
well, yeah,
it's Marcy Penn who was involved. the-
the venture capital company. Yeah, I was going to get into that. I
Go
literally
ahead.
was
Go
just
ahead.
about to get into that. I was debating on whether playing this audio or not. I'll just keep it be because we could just comment on.
No, no,
No,
play
no,
the
no,
audio.
no. We're not.
No? Oh,
The
okay.
latest, the latest developments, though, this has been happening for months of disclosures about Uncle Nearest's financial condition. The producer, the Tennessee whiskey producer, entered a receivership after failing to repay more than $100 million borrowed from the Farm Credit Mid America, right? Court proceedings later raised questions about unpaid taxes, uh,
Hmm.
creditor claims, and a $20 million loan involving Marcy Penn, a venture capital firm partly owned by Jay-Z. Fawn Weaver testified in February that the company did not initially uh, disclose that loan to the creditors. Other filings allege Uncle Nearest failed to maintain a complete list of his investors. The business also reportedly owes federal income tax dating back to 2018. The company's obligations to the lenders, vendors, and other creditors, it says, reached maybe up to $200 million. Official financial reports, they say the financial collapse represents a dramatic turn for the brand that once promoted a reported valuation of $1 billion. So it was
Wow.
founded in 2017. I remember them being even on the Breakfast Club. So let's
Yep.
start talking about this. Remember, they got platformed by the Breakfast Club. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is wonderful." Uncle Nearest built its identity around Nathan Nearest Green, the first known African American master distiller,
Mm-hmm.
credited with teaching Jack Daniel whiskey production. The company later became a nationally recognized spirit brand and a high-profile example for Black ownership within the whiskey industry.
Community. Yeah.
Yeah. So, federal investigators are now examining its operations as the receiver works to stabilize the business. So that's that.
2017. It hasn't even been 10 years. They got their coronation at the Breakfast Club over there with Charlemagne and them. Marcy Penn gets involved with the company. Next thing you know, the company starts experiencing financial difficulties, needing loans, even though its initial valuation was at $1 billion. And then all of a sudden, here we are. It's on the skids.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird because Marcy Penn, it's not just Jay Z's company, but it's other board members and co-founding owners were people who were came from Obama's camp. They did all of their finances. How do how are they making these kinds of mistakes?
Hmm.
Like how? Meanwhile, he's suing Tony Busby because he can't get a loan for this, that, and the third or the other. But it looks like y'all bought this company so you could strip it.
Hmm.
And now that the SEC is involved, looking to see where all of this money is really going, you you take your scapegoat CEOs and throw them on the Barbie and let them cook. While nobody from Marcy Penn is being questioned about this at all. And he's getting haircuts and doing concerts and performing badly. And so apparently are most of his guest
Hmm.
performers. Like, ooh.
And that performance is supposed to be something about Black excellence and entrepreneurism, because think about it, what he represents. I don't want to talk too much about Bubble Lip. The
Yeah.
What he represents is Black independence. Nobody wanted him as an artist, and he came out here and made it pop, and here we are. But again, like I said, even at the time, that album wasn't like the greatest thing known. It was okay, and
And
the truth,
apparently it still isn't because it ain't selling, even after disrespecting the boycott
nor
of
nor
Target.
nor is his streams um taken off. Usually, if something happens, the streams,
Go
and
up.
I'm a tie in streams because streaming is tied in back to this Fonnie Weaver Uncle Nearest situation
Mm,
and all that, because this is where I'm going to go with it. The album's supposed to represent black excellence. This company is supposed to represent black excellence, and I think it's almost like the Cosby Show. When it first came out, it was a good look for Black America,
Yes,
but
it
the
was.
reality was most of Black America was barely getting out of poverty. Not a lot of Black America was living like
The
Claire
Cosby
and
Show.
Cliff Huxtable. Yeah,
No,
we didn't. What was Cliff? He was a
he
doctor, and
was a
Claire.
gynecologist,
Uh
and
huh.
she was a corporate litigator
And how rare would that type of family be at the time? Just
in the
like
top 4%.
very rare. And just like with this Uncle Nearest, and let's go with Jigga and Marcy Penn and all this, very
Mhm.
very rare, very rare. Um, because we got to be real about black, quote unquote, black excellent black businesses. The real reality is black people do not corner a market when it
In
comes to
anything,
anything in this country.
any,
We could easily just say, all right, we're going to just produce. We're going to just produce sweet potatoes, or we're going to and just get on that and corner that, and or just corner the market in anything.
and they'll find a
Um,
way to strip it from us.
Organic foods, yeah, exactly. That's what they do. So speaking of, when you said streamings, um, I'm gonna just tie in, and it's kind of done a little raggedy, but I'm gonna try to. I was tying in streaming because I was hearing something about the waterway connected to the Uncle Nearest story.
Hmm.
There was a creek, a small stream in the Lynchburg County, Tennessee,
Right?
Louis Creek, the original uh, distillery where
Hmm.
Uncle Nearest has made the whiskey, and he taught Jack Daniels, was located along Lewis Creek.
Right.
That distillery has been gone for generations, but the present day whiskey is not produced at the site. Modern day Uncle Nearest distillery is in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Uh, so it's far from Lynchburg.
Right.
The current complex, it covers about 458 acres, and it's open to visitors. Been open to visitors since 2019. The historical marketing references Nearest Green, turning crystal clear water into gold.
Hmm.
But there's like no reliable source saying that Uncle Nearest whiskey made using water drawn from that creek. The company's official materials, also, they don't publicly identify Lewis Creek as the current distillery production and water source.
Okay.
And I'm hearing that that creek is drying up.
Probably because of a data center.
See, and that's what people are not talking about. Uh, Uncle Near that, so there isn't no official as far as if it's permanently drying up or nothing like that. Lewis Creek, though, it's still identified as a stream in Lincoln County and a tributary to the East Fork Mulberry Creek.
Okay.
So the legal issues, that's one thing, but that creek where it made the whiskey and stuff like that,
That's a
I
huge
guess,
issue.
well, there's no evidence that the water source from that place is drying up, but I want people to pay attention though. When you got a company like this and it deals with water, and then you got data centers that are doing what? Fighting for
Eating up
water
all the
rights.
water. Yeah.
All these rich people are looking to get water for their data centers.
This is insane. Fighting to get water, not for humanity, not to sustain humanity, but to sustain technology. They'll allow all kinds of dirty, filthy water to infiltrate our neighborhoods, our drinking water for our children, for our family, all of that stuff. They don't care about it. They don't care about that, but they need the water. so that they can cool off the machines, so the machines don't blow up, so they don't have to think. Like I see, that's the kind of stuff that make you want to have a drink.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so it's really interesting what's happening with what's just happening in the world right now. Like I hope people, I hope 40 years from now people bump into these streams that we do and they listen to the beginning of the end and say, they was on to something. Why ain't nobody listening to them? But hey, what are you saying here, Judah? The fact is they need the machines. It's the beast system, the Tower of Babel. Indeed.
Yep.
Indeed. You see how that turned out? Out of nowhere, everybody started speaking a different language. They were forced to abandon the build. They just had a big old tower going to nowhere.
Hmm.
Salute, Samantha. Thank you for the contribution to the channel and sponsoring this, being a co-sponsor for this stream. She says it's no coincidence the same names and people are stirring in the same crack pots. I agree. I agree. I agree.
We talked. Yeah.
Round and round and round we go. Same, just same.
It's the same people. We just mentioned Bill Gates. Bill Gates is, he's getting into agribusiness and stuff like that. Y'all, so
yeah,
keep that.
he's been in agribusiness.
He's been in there. He's been in there. He was tied to Mr. Epstein.
Yes, he was.
We also just mentioned, Rumler and, her connection to
Obama.
Obama. Yeah, very interesting. Very
It's
interesting.
always the same group of people. These exclusive little groups and these exclusive little clubs, the deeper you go and the closer you pay attention, you'll come to find out that they're not making plans for our future, for the future. They're making plans for their future.
Right.
Much different conversation. Much different conversation. So what else do we got on the docket? We got a lawsuit to talk about, don't we?
Yeah.
Huh.
Take that thing down. Hold on. Go ahead. Let me take this down. Sorry.
It's okay.
And then I don't know why this is doing this. Okay.
Yeah, Uncle Jeffrey was Billy's pharmacist. He had his gonna get his scripts. My God. All right, here we go. Now, Nasty Girls. That's the song from Biggie's album. Okay.
Yep. Remember the one off of Biggie's second album, You Nasty Girl.
You nasty, yeah. Biggie, you so nasty.
Right. Now, but not only Biggie, Snoop used it. He sampled it in I Want to in one of his songs. I think I Want to Thank You. And Angie Stone as well. They mentioned Angie Stone in this lawsuit. Sean Combs, aka Diddy, Snoop Dogg. They mentioned the estates of Biggie and Angie Stone in this new copyright lawsuit. The lawsuit alleges that two songs used elements from an earlier composition without authorization. It was filed by David Bravo and Jean Renaud. The complaint, it claims that Nasty Girl and I Want to Thank You incorporated parts of their 1980 song Skatin', originally performed by Umir Deodato. So the plaintiffs argued that the earlier tracks, harmonics, the rhythmic and melodic elements were used as a foundation for the later recordings. So they say they co-wrote and produced Skating. They also claim that portions of the song were used to support newly recorded vocals and rap performances. The lawsuit also includes an assessment from a musicologist and record producer, Thomas Shepard. The plaintiff
Oh,
said that Shepard identified similarities between the two works. So the following names, they named Combs, they named Biggie's Estates, and Nelly in connection with the 2005 song Nasty Girl. Meanwhile, Snoop Dogg and Angie Stone estates were linked to the 2004 track I Want to Thank You. Jazzy Faye received credits on both of the songs. He's also named as a defendant.
yeah, Jazzy Faye.
Yep. The complaint also takes aim at Sony Music Publishing, and this is where it gets interesting here. They accused the company of failing to act on behalf of the original songwriters. Moreover, Bravo and Renault allege that the publishers they ignored its obligations after determining that pursuing a claim involving Nasty Girl presented a conflict of interest. And this is because Sony's connection to the other writers involved. So the issue is the question over Sony's publishing copyright practices.
Mm-hmm.
We already know how Sony get down.
Yeah, and we already know something interesting as well. Clive Davis, didn't he sit on the board for Sony?
I believe so.
Yeah. I find it funny. These songs have been around for quite some time. Those samples have even been around for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawsuit is just happening now. Just a couple of weeks after Clive Davis's death. When was this lawsuit issued?
Very recent. Let me look at the actual date. But peep this. They said Sony Publishing deliberately turned a blind eye to the unauthorized use of the plaintiff 4-bar foundational backing track. This is what the
Mm-hmm.
lawsuit says. It says it's a flagrant disparity highlights that Sony Publishing refusal to protect the plaintiff's copyright was not an administrative oversight, but a calculated decision to maximize the profits of its other lucrative clients at the direct expense of the plaintiffs. So
Uh-huh.
according to the filing, Bravo and Renault did not discover the alleged unauthorized use until May of 2024. So that answers the question of, you know, why it has been going on for so long. So here we are 2 years later. As a result, the lawsuit now places a renewed attention on long-running debates over music sampling, copyright ownership, and the role publishers play in protecting the creator's work. So the people that used that 4-bar backing track, Diddy, Snoop, Angie Stone, they were
And
making
now
way more money. And yeah, they were making way more money than
then
the
the
original.
original person.
Yeah.
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 They were getting a much larger share. But the thing is this, you don't think it's interesting that this isn't coming to a head now?
No, I
Clive
do.
Davis just passed away.
Yeah.
It'll be a month soon.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's starting to come to a head. I'm telling you, like I don't know. What do you think I'm tripping?
No, I think you're on point.
I think there's a whole lot of lawsuits that are about to start popping up regarding music ownership rights and all of that now that Clive is gone.
Yeah.
Like he held so much power over the distribution of royalties, rights, all of that. And so here we are. So you know what? What I will say is I hope those gentlemen get their due. We'll see. We'll see because that's a good many years. Like Biggie's been gone for over 25 years now, so they've literally been stealing and siphoning from these people intellectual properties now for pushing 40 years.
Yeah.
And this matter is just getting addressed. Whew.
Speaking of,
And
I
people
think
think that I was tripping and they thought that Angie Stone was crazy. Okay.
no, no. Um, Speaking of, I think this will be a good segue to just talk about the cruelty free side of it, because
Yeah.
in all honesty, if there was a oversight of some sort where these types of issues could have been addressed or brought to the attention. I mean, 1980 is a very long time.
Very
Let me
much so.
see that one song. What did they say the name of the song was? Skating.
Skating.
Let me look it up real quick. I'm actually gonna look it up. Um, Skating, 1980. It says Thomas. Is that? Yeah, Thomas. Um, is that the song Debbie Thomas? No, that's not it. That can't be it. That's Debbie Thomas. She's a skater of some sort. Um,
Yeah, Debbie Thomas she was an ice skater, I
okay.
believe.
See, this is why you don't depend on Chat GTP. I'm not going through Chat GTP. I'm saying Google has
Is it GTP or GPT?
it's G. What is it? GPT. Yeah, GPT. Yep, GPT. That's what it is.
I used to call it the GPS.
Yeah, I know. You was calling it EBT. Um, okay, here it is, right here. Skating.
Look, you say you got to get tokens.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. EBT, you get tokens too. You get credits. Yeah, we're
That
gonna do a chat EBT, and it's gonna be with stamps, with food stamps.
Oh
So
my goodness.
yeah, skating. I see it here. By Diodato. Diodato. That's the name of the song. I see it
Okay.
here. I would play it, but we could. Maybe I could play it a little piece, but I don't know. I want to get struck.
Yeah, no, they already suing.
They already suing. They're gonna be like
We good.
Jaguar,
We good. We
mother.
good. No,
But
no, no. We gonna let you. We gonna let you. Thank you, Cynthia. She said it's the
oh, I
GPT.
hear it. I'm listening to it.
Well,
I'll
that's not
send it to you.
bad. You get to hear it all by yourself.
Well, like I said, I would play it. I probably
No,
could.
we ain't doing that.
No, I know, but we can get away with playing like the first 4 seconds, because I think that's where it's at. Like,
Man.
it's actually like the first 6 seconds. People, let's do this real quick. Hold on.
All right.
Let me pause.
We
this
gonna
real-
live dangerously, y'all.
We normally would do this on the kick side of the game, but I'm gonna go ahead and try something real quick, because I see certain people, they do this sometimes. They'll play certain songs, certain content. Here
Just
it
a
is, right here. So I don't know if that was the part, but I'm thinking about the song that Snoop and them did, and I'm gonna listen to the whole thing eventually, because it's a nice little groove. I like that. It sounds dope. Never heard of it. Did everybody hear it?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Nobody heard anything?
No, I didn't.
Let me see.
Leave that dead man alone, right? No, no.
Let me send it to you since you didn't hear it. Everybody else heard it.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
that's all. Yeah.
They be hating on me. They don't be letting me get nothing.
Well, yeah. See, the thing is when we're talking about cruelty free, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had I got some piece of art um from somebody that work at KBLA actually. I shot him out. The guy Miles Low.
Yeah. Salute to
So
Miles.
yeah, Miles got a nice dope project, and he's been dealing with like the when the AI stuff really came on, he was like studying it and telling me about certain stuff and all. I'm okay, that's cool, that's cool.
Right.
I was like under the impression like how me and Black Diamond were like we weren't trying to touch this AI stuff, but
Right.
I get why it can be useful. But he has a whole project and it's on a business card. It's NFC. You tap it on your phone and the whole thing will pop up. The site will pop up and you can purchase it. Or I mean, let me. In fact, I'll pull it up or whatever. But I just basically found it very interesting because, you know, I'm just saying part of that technology is some stuff that we've been exploring, and that's where it's gonna have to go right now when it comes to like really getting the art. Like back in the day, people were doing CDs, and before that it was tapes.
Right.
Even though tapes, the quality wasn't there, but at least if labels like during the late eight was no, it was like the late 70s and early 80s. Well, tapes been around for a long time, but before
Yeah.
tapes, it was eight
Well,
tracks.
yeah. Well, 8 tracks was everything. Like my dad, I remember my dad actually, the last, big stereo system that he bought for the house, it actually had, before CDs, before we started buying CD players and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it actually had the turntable, the cassette deck, and an 8-track port.
Wow.
And 2 years later, 8 tracks were obsolete. Salute to
Yep.
It's Terrence time. Thank you. He says Clive's body is still warm and the lawsuits are flying already. No rest for the wicked. Indeed, Terrence. Indeed.
And no rest for those who are complacent in all this, evilness. Because like basically where I'm going at is the people who knew this song was getting ripped off and stuff like that. They could have did the right thing and try to help or whatever. But if you don't want to go up against the machine, and that's the issue. You
Yeah.
don't. People are so scared to go up against the machine when it's like, nah. If it's something
Right.
that ain't right and ain't righteous, call it out.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. You call it out, and then the next thing you know, they put their little, their little units on you, and
Yeah,
then they keep you busy. They
yeah, I
keep
know.
you from. Can you imagine how much work we could have had done if we didn't have to spend so much time fighting, protecting, defending, revamping? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Like people really don't even understand. Like that's what a lot of the harassment is about. It's not just about scaring you or discrediting you. It's about keeping you busy, keeping your mind busy, keeping you from being focused on what you're supposed to be focused on: creation, upward
yep,
movement,
yep,
fellowship,
yep,
focusing on building community. Because as long as they can keep you busy with all the other stuff, then you're too busy to live your purpose. So, that's part of the reason why everything that we're doing and every dollar that we raise, whether it be for cruelty free artistry or whether it be for our legal defense fund, um, which, by the way, we appreciate those who have continued to keep donating. Thank you for those who have spread the word. Please continue to keep spreading the word. We appreciate you more than you know. Um, we're moving slower than we'd like, But little by little, we're getting more support because all
Yeah.
of this is to create a space for us to be able to create that safe space for all of us. That's the goal.
Yeah. It's really for, see, the problem with the music industry now, and I know you talked about it before. I am done with the nepotism. It's whack. But I get it. If there's certain families that just have the talent, and okay, cool, I get it. But when you got like someone like Cardi B, who's related to Glorilla, and both these
Have no talent.
witches can't rap, just to keep it a buck.
No
Um,
talent.
we really need to get the variety out there. We really need to have the talented people really step up and give them a chance. Just like if you're a journalist,
Give them a chance. If you give them a chance, then they will create something that the industry hates, and that's option. That's
we'll see
choice.
that
That's why they have all of these people that have no talent because they have no choice. Look, everyone sat there and made a big deal about those performances that were going on over there at Yankee Stadium over the course of last weekend. And let's be very, very, very honest. Most of them lacked luster.
well, first
It
off,
was, ooh,
you're
it was
not
like a celebrity petting zoo.
if you're not able to put on a whole show, like I at least give it to Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes can put a whole
Put on
show
a
by
show and then
himself.
nobody there
By himself.
by himself. But that's real performance. That's
Yeah.
real performer.
And he has a catalog that's dope. Like okay, Busta got songs with people, and that just because I was every Busta song, every album I bought. He's
Absolutely.
one of those artists. And speaking of, Schoolboy Q's dropping another album, and that's one brother I
Really?
always support. So yeah, if Schoolboy Q is dropping something, I'm definitely curious to hear what he has to say. Ghost is another
Hmm.
one. Ghost, I would buy every Ghost album. Raz, of course, Razcast. But there are certain artists that I'm just gonna grab their stuff, and it's because of the quality is there. They're dope. They have substance. The Yankee Stadium situation. Even when he performed in Philly, he needed Freeway and who's the other guy that came out, Beans. Like,
Freeway Beans. They brought out Jasmine Sullivan. They
yeah,
brought out Erica Badu opened up. Like he has to have an ensemble of people around him in order to do it. Like, once again, people keep forgetting there's no Kanye.
yeah. If there was no
But people
Kanye,
are forgetting before he stepped away from being on stage and performing all like that, after he had already retired twice, it was Kanye.
yeah,
It was all about Kanye. And we
yeah,
see what Kanye is doing. I mean, you don't hear about what Kanye is doing because they're making sure that you don't hear, the greatness that's happening and how he's destroying his records, how he's just totally obliterating everything that the Jigga Man is doing. And meanwhile, he's throwing variety shows and, oh my God, look at how great this is.
trash.
Salute, Samantha. Thank you for a super chat. She says, don't forget the real setup, the distraction techniques and gaslighting are real. They're beginning to look like desperate. I'm sorry, they're beginning to look a little desperate with their tactics. Absolutely. Absolutely, Samantha. I mean, but that's what we're doing. That's what they got going on now. I mean, did you see Rihanna's performance?
No, I heard about it though.
She was drunk.
Mm.
Somebody actually did a meme and said she looked like a cockroach doing ghetto ballet.
Oh, oh, oh. That's messed up.
They calling her auntie. They calling her drunk auntie. She's in her 30s. They're calling her drunk auntie. The rest of the people, don't she look great for just having 3 kids? Don't she look this and don't she look that? And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Don't she look? You don't listen with your eyes. You listen. Do y'all hear her? She sounded, it was terrible. It was
Here's her
terrible.
performance.
She couldn't even sing, bitch better have my money. A mess. A mess.
And why
A
I got an
mess.
R? Why she got an R?
A mess.
Gotta have my money.
I can't. I can't.
Somebody said, I mean, that was perfect for.
That's what somebody said. That's what they said.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I know. That's what's wild. That's what's wild. Like, just, it was bad. It was bad. She was drunk. She was stomping like she was marching off to war, leaned all back, grabbing her crotch. You could tell she's drunk as a skunk. It was awful. It was awful. It was absolutely terrible. Tiana Taylor came out running out on stage, all dressed like a B-girl, singing "You Can't Knock the Hustle," or trying to. You could barely hear her, and what you could hear was awful. It just, it was bad. It was bad. Listen, Maya, if she was doing that on purpose, then I would say that she's suffering from postpartum depression. Because you don't sabotage yourself like that. Like, and it's crazy because now people are like, maybe she been gone too long and she need to chill. Because everybody be like, oh, if Rihanna come back, if Rihanna come back, if Rihanna come back. And they like, oh, baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong. Yeah. And you need to take your ass home. She was drunk. She was drunk. Like, she should have sang Drunk in Love. Out of control. Tiana came out like she was about to start break dancing. And yeah.
Oh, God.
Ooh. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. But you know the thing, I think the part that bothers me the most about this whole scenario and this whole situation is how society has grown accustomed to making excuses or just like bullshit.
Yeah.
Like once upon a time, audiences would be honest. If Patti LaBelle had a bad night, people were honest. She had a bad night. If Luther Vandross wasn't all the way 100, guess what? They called him out on it.
Yeah.
Like they would be like, yo, we want our money back. That was a terrible performance.
And that was good because it would let the artist know, like, you got to step the game up. You can't just be out here lackluster with your performance.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Not even the Beyonce. Like it was just all the stuff that I've seen. It's just, and I'm not watching any of his shows because I already understand what it is. It's the Great Mesmerizing Campaign. 555. I'm not interested in being influenced. I'm not interested in being emotionally manipulated. But we don't hold these people accountable anymore. And they're sitting there just laughing. Yeah. Like even Tiana Taylor, like the simple fact that they just named you Icon of the Year, and then you come out sounding like a drunk, looking like a drunk Cabbage Patch Kid, and sounding literally like a broken record. Like she would have been better to just get out on stage. Like that would have been better. totally out of control.
Yeah.
And then he's doing more freestyles that make no sense.
Hmm.
It's more like training wheel
Yeah.
styles. Leaning on that side one. Just like just and it's so wild. And salute to Urban X because they were literally saying, you know, Miles, and salute to Miles for calling it out. He said, I think he thinks he's still doing it.
Who's Miles? Who you talking about?
I'm sorry, not Miles, Malcolm.
Malcolm. Yeah.
I keep confusing people's children. But Malcolm was saying, he was like, I think he thinks he's doing more than what he's doing. He said, I think does he really think he hitting? He said it's given. You can't. You lost your crossover. Like he's up there. He was like, I think he needs to. And then Black Dot said, I think he needs to write his freestyles down. And guess what? Love Black Dot, but I can do you one better. He does write them down. That was his written. And they were sitting up there talking about how he was doing his freestyle and how he was pausing, waiting for people to catch what he was saying. And they weren't responding. Because there was nothing to respond to. And he repeated it again. So they go, yeah. Like this is it. Wait a minute, Cat. This is the freestyle.
So they didn't say anything left. Come on, Rob. Go, Rob.
Cat,
come on, Jay. Get it, Jay.
You couldn't have been more. Look, on and popping. I got it. I ain't got it.
No, we need. I know what we really need.
Ooh, you know what? I need to grab a clip from High Anxiety. We need to upload that clip with the dude broke. Do you remember that movie High Anxiety?
Yeah, You introduced it to me, remember?
Exactly. Do you remember the driver Brophy when he was lifting up the I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got it. I think we need that. In the arsenal. Listen to me.
No,
Done.
Yeah, we got to get that. Well, when we upgrade the sounds in the studio and stuff, yeah, like trust me, all that gotta, like we definitely got to just get all the clips. Because I was gonna pull up. I like that Morgan Freeman. He's right, you know what I'm saying.
That was cool, but everybody uses that.
Well,
I personally would prefer to have. You smoke crack, don't you?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, we're gonna go around with that one. We definitely go around with that one. I like this one though. For the Jigger Man when it comes to, the freestyle. Raindrops would fall. Yeah.
It's like this. Yeah, baby. I wish you. Yeah. I ain't got it.
I ain't got it.
A mess. Just ridiculous.
Fall.
But people spent all that money though. They spent all that money to sit there and watch a struggle performance with a bunch of struggling performers who are still heralding themselves as the best of the best when they weren't the best of the best when they came out, and they were there to replace the best of the best. And now American audiences have gotten so accepting and docile that they're even clapping for what they know is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. It's bad here. So yeah, salute to Urban X for keeping it a buck. Like I don't I don't understand why we're just not ready to admit it. We're captives.
Do you understand?
We're
Like,
captives.
and I'm glad you said captive, because you got to understand how music works and how even YouTube working as like a time machine. So before there was YouTube, you had your CDs, maybe you had your iPad. Let me just get back to where I was initially trying to get off with the technology. I was talking about tape decks. So you said your dad had the record player, the cassette player, and the 8-track player, and they
Mhm.
discontinued 8 tracks 2 weeks later.
Yep.
Now that's real spill, because the prominent technology, people still were doing records though, because records, the quality was there and stuff like that. But when tapes came out, and that just became a portable thing, because that's what it was about, portability. Go to your
Uh,
car, just, oh, you got this tape, boom. Even though you got to listen to the whole side, you would get a quality product because you were listening to the whole thing. Like the artist knew, okay, I'm gonna put this on. Like I came up in an era where it was like, all right, I'm gonna do my intro, then I'm gonna have my second song, I'm gonna have my third song, and like
the
imagine having
set
it to where it's like,
made people think and care about the product that they put out.
yeah,
That's where the term came from. No fast forward, no rewind.
there you go.
Or
Because
fast forward, rewind only.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
you would have a tape, and it's like, oh, well, do you want to rewind, or no, I'm gonna keep listening, because you would curate your, like an artist. If you're a real artist, you would, okay, this gonna be my first song. I'm gonna put the banger on the third, and we're gonna do
it
this.
made
And the
people
the
care
middle's gonna
about
be
the
like this.
ride.
You say what?
Side A jams and all of that. B sides. Like
Exactly.
that term came. The B sides was where you put all of your melancholy records and your slow songs and your this that. Actually, Jodeci was like the first group to come out in the 90s, and it was their ballads
Mm-hmm.
that drove the records. And people were like, okay, yeah, like nobody was ever tripping over a up tempo Jodeci record.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Like it was very few groups that could open their album. The first three songs is ballads. Just
So
my heart belongs to you. Mm, ooh, like you was ready for that. You was in the mood for that. But people cared about the way they curated their product.
yeah, now they got motherfuckers out here putting 40 fucking whack ass songs on the stream or whatever, just to get their numbers up. The shit is whack. Get the fuck out of here. But we got to get back to that, and that's why I said the technology, and back to what Miles Lowe did with the card. He basically just had a card. He's like, here you go, Wolf. Boom. I'm like, oh, this is dope. And he's selling the cards. He got all his product. It's got video. Like you could do everything. You could just have one single, or you could, like, it's a dope technology, cool. But we got to get back to the hand to hand, like in the
Mhm.
real art, because that's really where I'm really going at, the real artistry, the hand to hand and the real artistry. So instead of him going to go press up 1,000 CDs, he can get a bunch of those NFC cards put up and be like, yeah, $10, boom, and make a living. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're dope, like if your stuff is really that dope, where people are like, oh, boom, yeah, they're gonna buy into it. They're gonna really support you, because that's really where it's at right now. I'm sick of them forcing artists on us, and this whole payola, and like that's done. That's whack. We got to get back to the real culture. But back to what I was saying about this whole time warp or time machine that they got us in. Like you said, we're stuck.
Yeah.
YouTube is a time capsule. If you were, let's say you're born in the mid 70s or even the 90s, mid 70s, you probably all your joints that were dear to you were probably produced in the late 80s, early 90s. That golden era of hip hop. So you will go back and go listen to children's story. You can remember, or if you're born in the 2000s or 90s, 2000s or whatever, you go listen to some Kesha or some Pitbull or some Flow Rider. I remember I was in junior
You
high. I
say
was in high
Kesha?
school. I know. Listen, yeah, I said that.
Wow.
Listen to where I'm going with it.
No, I'm saying I haven't heard that name in years.
Well, because they,
I almost
I
forgot she
on this
existed.
on the Sirius XM radio, I listen to all the, yeah, I got my little stations that I listen to. Yeah, I don't like Kesha like that, but I just brought it up because I'm thinking of
She used to be
pop
huge though.
artists. Yeah, a mainstream pop
He
artist that
actually
people.
They actually used her to replace Pink in pop culture.
Yeah, yeah, and people were talking about Pink. That shit was funny. Thought crimes. They had me dying. They were like Pink. Um, she was a mixture. They took TLC and they gave her the sound, the TLC sound, and she looked
Yeah.
like who did they say she looked like? Because with the haircut, that they just had me dying because they were they weren't dogging Pink out, but it was funny that how they had just, shout out to them. They funny, go check them out. But what I'm saying though about the time machine, you go to YouTube and you go, oh, okay, I was graduating high school. And I have a playlist of all the joints that whistle baby whistle, or red fool, sky blue, party rockets, and whatever. You can go back in time and you could remember how you were feeling when them songs were out and what you were doing when them songs was out. Whether you were from I'm just talking about our generation. Maybe you were born in the mid 70s or the 2000s, and you could go into that time machine. The Jay-Z, Rock Nation, extra innings, three nights, whatever. Think about the people who were coming up in the mid 90s. How old are they now? And they remember, they can identify, maybe especially New York, because New York East Coast people be biased. Don't hate y'all, they do be
Oh no,
biased,
we were absolutely biased.
very biased, and it's like
Us and only us, and everything else sucked.
right. And so it was a bunch of it was done in New York. So okay, cool. You got all these old heads, and that's who they were there. It was a bunch of old heads, maybe a
Mhm.
few younger, millennials, but overall, older millennials, but it was a bunch of old heads listening and reminiscing. And oh, I was in college when it's oh, this when I first got my first car, I was playing this song. They're doing it for the nostalgia. They're doing it for the time
Yeah.
machine. And he still didn't get over 50K each night. He had maybe 45K at the most.
With all that he had stacked on that deck, Pharrell sitting up there looking like a whole goofy.
Yeah.
Talking about yeah, because you wait till like shut up,
Oh yeah, get your goofy ass.
shut up,
I'll be waiting for your
shut your
lawsuit.
goofy ass up.
We gonna wait for your lawsuit. Chad said you ain't produced shit. You don't even know a flat from a hole.
Oh, but what's funny is look at who is all involved, and guess what? Where's he? Over at Louis Vuitton.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
go back to playing dress up.
Right.
Go find some clothes for Dochi so she can stop being naked. Dress her up like a little boy. Give her your golfing outfit. Like,
But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. That whole thing was just a time. Like he's not gonna be able to do that again. And um, the funny thing is that last night he had all them people waiting. All them people were asleep. You got 50 plus people, 50-year-old plus people in there waiting an extra 3 hours when it's like, think about that too. Think about what he was trying to do. Somebody was like, oh no, that wasn't the case. It was a scuffle, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm hearing that was all done like on some intentional shit. So what do? You got more people waiting. They're gonna order food. They're gonna buy
Mhm.
drinks. They're gonna,
They're gonna
they're
hang
gonna they're
around,
gonna hang around. And so he's bringing up the revenue for Yankee Stadium, which I mean, okay, I get it. I get it. Okay.
which he needed to because apparently there wasn't a lot of money being spent. Like the stuff that I'm peeping and I'm listening to because they're keeping the real conversation about what that whole experience was really like. They're keeping it
Yeah.
real quiet. Like
Yeah.
they are literally curating everything. They are literally sitting here like that. It's just all make believe. It's
Mm-hmm.
all make believe, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's insane. But people have become accustomed to believing this just going for it, just falling for it. Like it's just like, damn, where was all of this cooperativeness when I was younger, man? I could have really put this shit to use.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to the point or the days of real artistry. I think um we're at the precipice of something. 2030. You're gonna let this stuff die out for the next couple of years. These industry people think they're really gonna just keep controlling and running,
They're trying.
but it's not gonna work. People are waking up, people are seeing what it is, and they know what it is. So they're gonna do everything in their power to prevent us from creating this new paradigm. To be honest, that's really what it is. And it's not
Mhm.
like, we're the, it's no, it's not just us, it's others, it's and it just has to happen.
It's
It
an
has to happen.
entire it's an entire awakening of viable and real, gifted, just beautiful, beautiful souls. Like it's I don't think people understand. There are so many people out there that have so much to share, so much to give, and they are literally just being just drowned out by all of the noise. And I understand why when I first started talking about cruelty free, when I first started talking about Philadelphia, when I first started putting, the possibility out there, what we can create, what we can do, what we don't need, what we do need. I understand it. Like it's just like they're like, oh hell no, how are we supposed to control this? How are we supposed to take advantage of it? How are we gonna skim off the top? How do we create? If y'all got no, we need unfair. We're used to unfair. We don't want fairness. But it takes me back to just remembering being in the Kit Kat Club and listening to Puffy sitting there talking to his so-called interns, talking about we're gonna kill talent. We're gonna get rid of talent. All these talented motherfuckers, they think they gonna hold us hostage. Yeah, they know that we need them, and they get to sit there and they get to hold us hostage, and they get to do this and they get to renegotiate. And no, we gonna find a bunch of just losers, and we're gonna make them gods. We're gonna make them stars, and we're gonna show these talented people we don't need you.
Mm.
We can replace you. Look at what I'm doing with Mary J. Everybody knows she can't fucking sing, but they love her. So when I look and I see the clips of her old ass on stage, still dancing like a monkey with an organ grinder, I'm like, you fought to hold that archetype up. You're the queen of the no talent beast that they use to shut down talent so that they can control the music industry.
You got a point, and you got to think about how they coronated her the queen of R&B soul, or queen R&B hip hop, or hip hop
Yeah,
R&B, right.
yeah.
That was all a play. That was all, like, I mean, I ain't
They
gonna
could
lie,
never
that
call her the queen of R&B because she ain't have it. That's
no.
why they put the hip hop and R&B on it, because the hip hop diminished the need for excellence.
Now
It kept
let's
it at street level.
let's not take away from her first little album or whatever. It was a classic.
What's the
It's not
411?
it's not.
My Life,
Yeah.
Share My World. Listen to me. They were great records.
Well,
They were produced well, but she always sounded like shit.
and so I'm just gonna say
Do you know
I
how much
wasn't.
do you know how much they used? They were still using Eventide on her voice. They were still they were altering her voice even back then in the mix.
Oh, I could imagine.
My Life was the album where they let it go, let the vocals go a little bit more grungy because she kept getting booed at her shows
Mm,
because people were like, "You don't sound like this on your albums.
mm,
What's this?" Like and then she would get drunk and just sit there yelling and hollering like she was Jocelyn Hernandez before Jocelyn Hernandez. So they
y-
started letting the dirt on the vocal a little bit more, the grunge on the vocal a little bit more. They had Chucky Thompson, um, you know, choreographing all of it. They had Faith arranging the vocal and doing all of that to make it sound a little more like her natural self, but still well curated. Like there was a whole lot of work that went into making her legitimate,
mm-hmm.
to legitimizing her. And then they got a bunch of real superstars and real artists to start validating her and putting her on stage in great performances and having people like Aretha Franklin say, "Oh, look at Mary." Like that's why when I see Patti LaBelle with Cardi B, it incenses me because I remember once upon a time, Patti LaBelle wouldn't have allowed herself to be in the same room with a piece of trash like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, ooh. But yeah, I mean, look, we've had our conversations. I'm not even going to get into the whole, yeah, we going to cut it short because if we get to talking about that, we'll be here for another 45 minutes. I ain't even trying.
No.
Nah, so guys, it's been great. It's been another weekend wrap up. Just like I said, everything that went on this week, you would have thought we wouldn't have had anything to talk about, but apparently there were still other things that were happening in the world. It's always a pleasure to be able to come and just sit here with you guys and hash it out and share the information for those of you who might have heard it, for those of you who might not have heard it. These are always a special time for our platform. You were saying?
I was gonna say, well, I'm hearing people talking about this puffy stuff. I'm gonna get on my platform maybe this weekend, and I think I'm gonna pull some receipts out because I know I was listening and looking at Murad, and he was talking about puffy money, blah blah blah, this and that, and
Well, I wanted to wait until, yeah, because the sale of Star Island.
yeah, yeah,
I
and and and, and we know stuff behind the scenes that we're not saying, and I kind of want to just hint at some stuff, and I may even show. I still was waiting to hear back from our good friend, but I ain't heard nothing.
Well, maybe we should just, start by having that conversation, Patreon kick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. I literally was just gonna tease it on my channel, but then I was gonna say we could talk about it or get more in depth a little bit over there. But how about we even maybe do a ask me anything with you? I think people like that over there on Kick for you. Ask me anything. But get over to kick.com, Jaguar Wright, and we're gonna do it like what we're gonna do is we'll probably start off live with everybody, but then when we get to that portion, it's only gonna be subs
Over on
only.
Kick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kicks subs only. That's what we're gonna do because we have the ability to just say, all right, let's get over there, let's turn it on subs only. So if you
Mm.
really rock with Jag, just get on over there, become a sub or follower, either or, and we'll do the ask me anything. You can ask a question, and we about to get a lot of stuff going. And look, trust me, a lot of good things have changed. Just FYI, ain't trying to put our business out there, but that email I sent, it's being taken care of. So that's a the email I'm talking about. Um, so we can get the thing going, and then we can start getting some stuff popping. So I just got word that's being taken care of. So good. So we're on track for that. But we're gonna get a lot of good things going, y'all. You're gonna see it in the next few weeks or so. You're about to start really seeing some good things pop, and
I ain't saying nothing.
we just want to get everybody uh, on board, and those who really support. We want y'all to just know we appreciate y'all. I know got people that send over their little things every month or what. Cool, we appreciate that. And again, Jags,
Appreciate you.
just go to Jags website, thejaguarwright.com. You could go to the what is it called? Um, GoFundMe. Just go to
Mm-hmm.
GoFundMe and just search Jaguar Wright. That's where
Jaguar Wright.
you can
Mm-hmm.
find her legal defense fund. We appreciate everyone who's contributed.
Especially considering that we're at a space now where we really need to be able to take this money and hand it into the first stage of what we have to do. Like I want to be able to say more, but I don't want to say too much because the truth is y'all know we got spies everywhere, people listening, people looking to just
They're ready to just pounce on, on what we're gonna do, and yeah,
see if they can find a way to
to
move
throw a
around it
wrench.
somehow. But that's all right.
Always,
That's
always.
okay because right now they wrenches is about to turn into boomerangs.
Yep, yep. It's already doing that. It's already doing that. To be
Yeah.
honest, and it's a good thing. Like we got a lot of good progress. We're not saying a whole lot, but it's a lot of good things that have been happening. I guarantee you, this time next year, yeah, that's all. I ain't gonna say much.
We're so corny for doing this. Yeah, cause in the wound on the wound. We
And the whoop,
corny
the
for that.
whoops, and the want. We sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Wah 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 wah.
That's what we
Yeah.
got. We got to sound like that to the weirdos. We got to, because it's weirdos. Not saying you guys. We're saying the people that come in here and spy.
Yeah, because they're in here.
Yeah, we know.
They in here right now.
We know.
They in here right now looking for a reason to go off somewhere and scream like Pippi Longstocking on crack.
Yeah. Oh man.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Ooh.
All right.
How
Good
can I
job.
drag you? Let me count the ways.
Good job, Jag. I think as long as we stay God led. I know some people probably got other things to say because they say you're a witch and I'm this and I'm that and whatever. Nope.
Oh,
Trust and
listen to
believe.
me. Listen to me. I People have said all kinds of things about you. People have said all kinds of things about me. The thing that matters the most is what we know, what we believe, and more importantly, what we answer to.
Yeah.
Um, we do not subscribe to any of this craziness because I'm gonna tell you something right now. For everything that people can accuse you of, you got to ask yourself, what you all about? Like when I think about a lot of the naysayers and a lot of the foolishness and the craziness, most of these people can't even cam up. Most of these people can't even, like, how can I literally sit there and have myself be feeling some type of way about a bunch of people that can't even show their face? I show my face. People know exactly what I look like. It's real easy to play tough when you're hiding in a closet somewhere, sitting online all day, running your mouth, acting a fool, acting crazy. Like, that's easy to do, but at the end of the day, when I think about certain people that have been talking crazy about me for years, like for years, you spent all of this time talking about me. You spent all of this time stalking me, harassing me, and following me. And guess what? Do you ever talk about your own life? do you have a life?
Well,
Like you got to feel bad for those people. These people are hidden, so listen
and they
to
don't
me.
talk.
Wait a
They don't
minute.
talk about. They go ahead.
What no, cuz Mayat said something. Mayat says if Jag was a witch, what do you think would be going on with them now? They need to be grateful she isn't a witch or a cop. Thank you, Mayat.
Right.
That part.
But the funny thing is certain people they do have real problems in their life, and they don't want that to be discovered. But and it ain't gonna be in my I am not gonna say anything about anybody on YouTube. Trust me. I'm gonna let the litigation do what it do. And guess what? I produce documentaries. You guys will see a documentary of all this, and everything will be revealed. I know some people are running around here talking about this person's discovered, blah blah blah, this and that, but they can't do it because of okay, all right, shut the fuck up.
Number
Um,
one, number one, let's just be very clear. For people to sit around and say that they got the goods and are refusing to move expeditiously to get criminal charges on people that have done all the so-called terrible things. Mm-mm.
yeah,
I don't
that's
believe
sus.
you.
That's
I don't
sus.
believe we don't believe you. You need more people. We don't. Like it's just funny. It's funny because I can't wait for everybody to see how many of these people. Mm, that's all.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just shut up. I'm gonna
just
just shut
just
up right
just
now.
know, number one, there's a documentary coming.
You ain't fooling nobody. That I
There's
tell
a
you,
there's
you
a
ain't
whole
fooling
documentary
nobody.
coming, a whole documentary, and it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be
And
interesting.
you can throw as many names out as you want and call yourself trying to put the scent off on somebody else. Ain't nobody worried about it. We gonna stay focused on what we focused on.
Hmm.
Ain't no squirrels over here where you sitting there and you focused on one thing and then next thing you know you're chasing chasing a truck
Hmm.
down
Say
the
something
street.
else. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Be focused.
We focus. You
Roaches world.
throw all the names around that you want and put all the signs on people's backs. If we was worried about no, we're not interested in chasing down handicapped people. Not interested. Ain't much of a chase anyway.
Mm.
All I need is a good stick. Throw it in them wheelchair wheels. I ain't even got to go over there and do nothing to you. The rest of the gravity will handle the rest. I ain't got to do nothing. Not at all. But people, that's just the nature of this. I think people get so used to getting away with something that they really think that they just got it licked. And you got to be very, very, very careful because pride comes before the fall.
Hmm.
The more proud you are, the more worried you should be. And oh, thank you. Salute, Samantha.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you so much. But no, seriously, like pride comes before the fall. Like you can sit there and you can think you're getting away with something. You can think that it's going down, but I'm telling you right now, it ain't what you think it is. It really isn't. It really isn't.
Not
So
at all.
good luck to everyone. And people who want to start talking about witches and all of that, like you have to pay attention to the nature of witchcraft. Like, I wish more people would study what the nature of all of that is so that they could have a better understanding of how things are really rocking and how things are really working. Um, witches, they chant, they create echo chambers of chaos. Like every time y'all hear people talking about Diddy's coming home, Diddy's coming home, Diddy's coming home. See what they do is they try to affirm their wishes and their hopes in real time, hoping that they can make it happen. See, that's witchcraft. Every time they lie to you and tell you that Diddy's coming home, that's a witchcraft ploy. Like every time people have sat online and wished my harm and wished my demise. Like the only reason they were able to pull off the things that they were able to pull off was because they had actual real people in my life working on the gaslighting campaign in real time to push their aim through. Like all of these sectors, people should replace the name of sector with coven. Be wary of anybody who calls their channel a chant tell. Chant, chant and tell, chant and tell. Gossip, rumor mill. That's all witchcraft. That's witchcraft. That's what witches do. They try to speak their evil deeds and their evil wants into existence. Be very careful. Yeah, like calling Beetlejuice or Candyman.
Mm, mm. Facts.
So yeah, but we got that. I can see why. And anybody who accuses us of being some old crazy off the wall stuff, take a closer look in their backyard. Bet you find some chicken bones in a boiling pot, an eye of newt, rat tails and carrying on.
Mm.
You know, owl ears and chicken's feet. Very ritualistic. So we out of here. You ready to go?
Yep.
Be
I
cool.
gotta get on some call, make some calls, and handle some business. But no, appreciate y'all. And yeah, like I said, I'll probably do something this weekend for sure, just about that Diddy stuff, the
Okay.
finance stuff. I think that's what's happening. And
Indeed.
yeah, that's it.
All right, y'all. Well, we out of here. It's been another great weekend wrap up. We will see you soon. Salute. Akshaya always. Peace.